Meaning that there is nothing that is more superior than its Lord. And those who take on that mentality and they believe that Allah Almighty makes them superior to anything else, they represent their Lord because they have been fashioned to be able to represent their Lord. They know who they are because they know through their struggle of fighting that part of themselves that are weak, they didn't allow their weaknesses to destroy or neglect the strengths. They pursued their strengths until their weaknesses became strengths. They struggle with themselves. That's using our iman. We don't use our iman, our faith. We just use a bottle or some weed or cocaine or decadent behavior. That's what we use. You're not using anything. You're abusing yourself. That's abuse. That's self-abuse. That's self-infliction of crisis. A crisis in the world. And it's really amazing that 7 billion people on the planet, and there's a crisis, and bringing the minds of all the 7 billion in the world cannot solve this problem. There are not enough intelligent people to solve the problem of poverty. There's not enough people to solve the crisis of illness. There's not enough people to solve the problem of lack. And we call ourselves presidents and kings and queens and emperors, and yet we cannot solve the problems. The Bani Israel people could not solve their problem. They asked Prophet Samuel, as we were saying, bring someone who will fight that one who's bringing us crisis. They didn't want to accept one because they're thinking that if someone is having something from wealth and of knowledge and respect in the society, they are the ones, the greatest ones, who the greatest ones in our society should be the greatest ones to be able to take the problem away. They themselves could not do it. Someone who was not famous in the world but was famous in divine presence solved their problem. He solved their problem. He stopped the crisis. Moses stopped the crisis. Joseph stopped the crisis. It's always from Allah, someone from Allah Almighty that stopped the crisis. You think it's going to be some reefer head or alcoholic or drug abuser or some pedophile or one decadent person that's going to solve the problem? Someone who's not connecting and respecting their Lord, showing bad manners to their Lord, they're going to solve the problem? It has never happened and it never will happen. It is impossible to happen because Shaitan is inferior to that Allah Almighty told him to bow down to. He cannot represent Allah Almighty on earth. And we are like him, taking on his likeness, nor can we. Nor can we. He is not our Lord. Allah did not fashion him to be able to represent him on the earth and in the heavens throughout the universe. The best that he can do is just do a whole lot of work. Those people that were connected to Allah in a twinkling of an eye, they did things. They said be and it was. That is the likeness of Allah Almighty. Shaitan cannot do that. Yes, Shaitan can walk through walls. Shaitan can levitate. Shaitan can walk on water. But Shaitan is disobedient. And the power of being able to represent Allah Almighty is being obedient, to hear and obey. He heard and he disobeyed. He can take nothing from paradise. Nothing does he take from divine presence. Nothing. And his time is short. And we are in the month of Muharram. We don't know what Allah Almighty is going to bring in this month. But I tell you one thing, it's going to be another sword on the neck of Shaitan, and those of us who are with Shaitan, the sword will also be on our necks. You think we're miserable now? Just keep in the way of Shaitan. We have not seen misery yet. You think we're in pain now? We have not experienced pain yet. You think we're in terror now? We have not seen terror. When that earth starts opening up and we start getting sucked in, and we like watching it being sucked us in earth because of disobedience. Then some people in safety can't do anything for us. We're going to say, why me? Why did we say that before the earth cracked? Why am I being disobedient to my Lord? By not listening to the messengers that Allah sent to us? Why do I challenge them? Why do I ask them for evidence? Why do I disrespect them? It is their Lord in them that's guiding us, not they themselves. That's why we respect them. That's why we love them. What is wrong with us? If we continue in that way, we should look to be taken away. This is Muharram. Everything changes during Muharram. The Islamic New Year means that this is a new year. It will be very, very prosperous for some. And some is not going to be prosperous at all. There will be some that's going to be very, very happy this next year. There will be some that's not going to be very happy at all. But it will be a choice in hearing, obey, or hearing and disobeying. That will determine our fate that has been placed on our necks. We keep acting crazy, knowing that Allah is guiding us, and we're challenging that guidance. We have to look for terror. We have to look for crisis. We have to look for misery, harm to ourselves, because we are inducing it. We are committing suicide. When Allah Almighty brings us guidance and we reject it, it's like committing suicide. Suicide happens over and over and over again, unless Allah Almighty sends mercy to us. We're asking Allah to forgive us and to help us. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala khairil muslimin Muhammad nabiyyi wa ahlihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allah Almighty is inviting us to paradise. What will Allah invite? Allah is inviting us to pleasure. Allah is inviting us to happiness. Happiness. Don't you know happiness is a very high station? Happiness is a station of peace. It is the station of nearness to Allah Almighty. It is without fear. It is without grief. It is not. It is with the abundance. It is never being out whatever it is that we desire.